Good morning. It is yet early, as was yesterday when I made a video. And not quite as early. I'm really scattering myself out thin here, coming up with material. But since I got my one comment from my one person who gave me some love yesterday, thank you so much, Kyle. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, so thank you. Oh yeah, you're nobody till somebody loves you. That is a true statement. Like, at the very basic of the human need in life, we just need some encouragement and some love. Period. Simple. True statement. And I guess I can consider myself to have been grossly misunderstood by a ton of people. And also, maybe I was never actually properly given some sound advice about how the world operates and how everybody isn't your best buddy or even your friend. Maybe I already mentioned that in a previous video. There was one lady I met at church several years ago who explained things to me. Bless her heart, that I needed it to be explained to me. That you'll meet people, and then some of them will become your friends for life, but some of them will just be acquaintances. And I forget now. That was three magical different things she was trying to tell me. Just trying to help me along, I think. But I was struggling. I was sick. That's what nobody really gets, is that I have been dealing with illness by myself and trying desperately to, find some security. Something I could rely on. And what I've come to realize is that, your life can just fall apart. You can have everything beautiful, and then you can wake up one day and it's crushed into a fine powder. And so, let's not rely on any particular person, no group. Yeah, I found a lady today. I believe God divinely led me, Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube, algorithm. I don't do technology first and foremost. But I watched this lady talk about how her life had basically become zero. She got all kind of food sensitivities, yada yada, that ruined her life, and she was struggling with depression. And but she found some book and read it, and she's now part of a group of people that they're all, I guess they're into whatever that group of people is that say this is how you get your brain. Anyway, it worked for her, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on her avenue of success. Not at all. Not at all. I got my vanilla coffee cup this morning. I once wrote a song years ago that said, whatever might work for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So we shouldn't try to pull people into our particular club or rationale. And of course religion, there's that, because Lord knows nobody wants you trying to throw some of your, well, that's in my family. We have weird religious, just weirdness, period, from my mom's side of the family. My dad was from South Georgia, Baker County. He didn't have diddle squat. They didn't have diddly squat as far as I know. He went to join the Army, and I think one of his parents died while he was, I think his mom died while he was really young, like 16, and I think his dad remarried. Yes, and he had so he had a half sister, and he had one brother, and yada yada. Why was I even telling this? Because both of his parents, he lost them while he was quite young. His dad died while he was in the service, in the Army. And I remember seeing pictures. We had his photo albums. I grew up looking at these little green photo albums, which are now with my sister, as far as I know. Yes. But he had pictures sent to him by his family of his dad in the casket. Yeah, I remember looking at those a little bit as a kid, but I didn't really have grandparents, so to speak. This one old lady from our church took us on as her, like, we called her our adopted grandma. We kind of hung out. She would let me spend the night with her sometimes. So there was this one time the lady, bless her old ass heart, called me a jackass. I mean, yeah, cutely and sweetly, like a little old grandma, she still called me a jackass. And I mean, that stuck with me. In fact, I might shed a tear this morning over it. I mean, these kind of things, they hurt. Children are sensitive. Maybe I'm more sensitive than some, but I'm sitting here thinking of all the horrible things I've said to my daughter, who's 12 years old. God bless her. I've said horrible things to my daughter. You know, I'm just admitting it. Because I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm just like, I was at my wit's end. I have asked repeatedly for help from various people who they don't help. And the dad, never mind him, he called me yesterday he wants me to, you know, he's in the jailhouse, okay, and apparently he's never figured out how to stay out of the jail system. And is that anything that it has zero to do with me? I kind of knew he had a little bit of a bad reputation when I got involved with him, and that was the time when I did ask my mom for some advice, and she just wouldn't give it. I mean, she wouldn't be forthright with her thoughts, and I was really insecure and a divorced lady, and he wanted to take me out, and I should have run in the opposite direction is what I should have done in hindsight. Needless to say, we had a relationship that turned abusive and scary and stalker-ish. He kind of like stalked me and would not leave me alone for, like, I'd say a good 2 years. And I had to talk it out of my system. I don't really talk about it anymore because that's been so many years ago. But that was the most traumatic life experience I hope never to go through again. But it had the trickly ripple effect, and it was a big deal. Let's just leave it at that. It was in the past a big deal. But I have a beautiful, lovely 12-year-old little daughter who's stubborn as a cuss, and sometimes she does kind of remind me of the father and acts like he does, and I just, you know how people get triggered? Yeah, I get triggered, and I'm like, he was always a mystery to me. Like, what in the hell is wrong with this person? Why are they? I mean, I'm not saying I don't have issues, because I have issues, because every human being on the planet has some kind of issue going on with them, but anyway, I wish I hadn't brought it up. What a boring, ridiculous video. This may never make it to the YouTube. I'll start it out about my dad. Maybe because it's close to the holidays. I don't know. But I did say a little prayer right before I got here because I was like, I don't know what I've got to talk about today. I started my collagen. It came yesterday from iHerb. That's way out in California. Oh, I should mention on that lady's video, she said that she did find her healing. Her life did improve. She went to a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert, and she listed a bunch of things she did. She traveled to other countries. But the part about that chili peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers, to me, I was like, that, there is something to do with my life and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, you know, God has always been a part of my life, and I'm so thankful for that. Not just, and I had a cousin recently say, you know, back our grandparents, when they were living, my mom's parents used to just pray for their children and their grandchildren and the next generation to come after that. And you don't understand how much of a blessing that really is until, you know, you get a full-on taste of the world and what, you know, nonsense. And it can be disturbing and scary and lonely. People do. Never mind. I'm a people, so I don't want to delve down into that hole. We're all human beings. We all have the capability of making good life choices. So, I hope for myself, I got something coming up tomorrow. An opportunity at my daughter's school to do a Christmas market to shine for Jesus. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to bring what I've got to sell. It's a little market. Just get people in Christmas spirit. I got some things I've worked on. I could berate myself and say, yeah, I should have spent the last week or more, you know, really diligently working. But I haven't. And it doesn't matter because I'm going to go find stacks of stuff that I've done over the course of the last many years. And then, you know, I'm just going to take it and do my best. And, but the opportunity is just to put all the crappy situations in the past, not to focus on them, and to be thankful that God has brought me to this point, and I am thankful. And this Christmas is going to be beautiful. Maybe I'll show you my tree, my Christmas tree, but first I have to unplant myself from this particular spot, which I've become. This is also human nature, to get comfortable in, you know, a certain surrounding. You don't want to move. Now I'm comfortable. Got my little seashell picture above my head. I could at least show you something over here. There's some, oh, it looks like a disaster, but those two pillows with the gnomies on them. And my mom painted that little girl picture, and I got a shelf. Anyway, I like all my stuff. I painted that little blue picture up there. It's a mess. I keep my clothes on a rack. Yeah, that's a little weird and strange. Well, anyway, I just let you in on a little piece of me. I love those pillows. I got them at Ollie's. I got them, I think, last Christmas. We were having a baby shower for my my middle child who was getting ready to have a baby. And so all of last year was a whirlwind of events. Well, she got married in May. I think it was May. It was everything to do with that wedding and that baby being born, and it was exciting. It all happened so fast. The baby was born in February of this year. She was at Thanksgiving. She was such a joy to be around, and she was even the inspiration for a song that I'm now working on with a guy that was at the Thanksgiving. So yeah, that song might end up being really cool, and we will get to share it at some point with other people, including my daughter, and that'll be fun. But those pillows, they're just cheer, Christmas cheer, and I put them up. Thankfully, I didn't give them. I just tucked them away for later, because part of dealing with what I thought was MS symptoms, and I guess they are. They said just distract yourself. That's one way of dealing with having MS. Just do things that make you happy, that you enjoy. So yeah, I used to like going into Ollie's, and I remember having one phone conversation with my sister while I was there, because we have gotten along 50% of the time, and I just explained to her how weird life had become and how much of a comfort it was to me to go in Ollie's. I said, I basically have the store memorized, so I mean, when I come in here, it's kind of like I feel at home. Just like rambling through, looking at all the, sometimes I didn't even want to buy anything. I just wanted to get out of the house. And so that's where the pillows came from. And I remember as I was going to pick up the baby shower cake from Publix, which was down the road from Ollie's, I stopped in there, and during the busy Christmas season, I was like, maybe I didn't consciously make up my mind that I was going to do a little Christmas shopping, but I was like, I'm here, I have an opportunity, I'm just going to buy stuff that makes me feel good. So those pillows, I bought a little stuffed teddy bear thingy and a candle. I don't remember what else. Excuse me, pardon. Oh. I don't go on huge shopping extravagant trips because I'm aware that I have no money coming into my life right now. Back then, I think I was still working. Yes, my job was still secure at the time. Though not paying very well, I did have some income. So, yeah. Why do I get so lost? It was just fun to shop in Ollie's at the Christmas season. So I put these little pillows up into my closet, and this year I broke them out about, way before Christmas time. And I was like, they really are adorable. They're so cute. I love them so much with their holding hands. Christmas cheer to you. May all your wishes come true this year. And I gotta go.